This application is called Scorekeeper.
Scorekeeper.
It's a basic application for keeping track of scores for things like card games and other things like that. If I go in,
Draw a button labeled New, or just write New, then double-click.
so we'll create a new button here. Write New, and we'll circle it. That's our button. Then double tap.
Draw a button labeled Edit, or just write Edit, then double-click.
So we'll write Edit and circle it for our button. Double tap.
Draw a button labeled Score, or just write Score, then double-click.
So we'll write Score and circle it. Double tap.
Draw a button labeled Sum, or just write Sum, then double-click.
And we'll create a Sum button.
Enter the number of players, then double-click.
Let's just do a two-player game.
Write player name, then double-click.
I'll write player name 1, which is Clark. Double tap.
Write player name, then double-click.
And I'll write Steph as player 2. Double tap. Now I'm ready to go. What I do is I tap the player name and I write the score. So I can do the scores in a different order than I wrote the names. So let's say Clark got 2 points. I would tap Clark, and it tells me which round. This is round 1 of scoring. I write 2 and I double tap. And if you look at the display, it says round 1 has a 2 for the first player's score, and it has a dash, which means I haven't entered the second player's score. So let's say Steph gets 3. I tap Steph and I write 3, double tap. Now it says round 1, player 1, which Clark, got 2, and player 2, which is Steph, got 3. And it's ready for the next round. So let's do it backwards this time. I'll tap Steph first, and I'll say she got 5. Double tap. So it shows round 2, Steph got 5, and player 1 hasn't entered a score yet. Scores can be positive or negative, so let's say Clark actually lost 1. Tap Clark, -1, double tap, and it shows that I got -1 and Steph got 5 in round 2. Now let's do round 3. Let's say this time Clark got 7 and Steph got 3. So round 3 shows 7 and 3. Now, as you may understand, just knowing the score you got for a round is not particularly useful. You usually want to add those up. So I can change to sum mode by hitting the sum button, and it'll change to it'll say sum round 3, and it'll show me the sum of the scores to that point. So Clark had a 2, a -1, and a 7. So his sum total at the end of round 3 is 8, and Steph's sum total at the end of round 3 is 11. And this will work for any round. So I can tap round 2, and it shows me either score. I can tap either score on round 2, and it'll show me that at round 2 the score was the sum total was 1 to 8. And if I go to round 1, the sum total was 2 to 3. So you can see where the scoring was at any point along the way. Another problem that you might run into is if you enter a wrong score. So let's say I go for Clark, round 4, I enter a 3, but I meant to enter a 2. Let me move back to the score mode so I can see that. So it shows Clark for round 4 has a 3. So I can change that by clicking Edit, and then it says tap player name, then enter score. So I'll tap Clark, and I'm going to enter a 2 down here instead of a 3. So now it shows that in round 4 Clark got 2, and there hasn't been a score entered for Steph yet. So let me enter score for Steph. of 5. Double tap. And there for round 4, Steph got 5 and Clark got 2. I can go back to sum mode, and it shows me the total score right now is 10-16. This will work for several players, not just 2, and then it will just keep the scores there on the screen. It will scroll. I think you can do up to 10 players, 6 or 10, I think. And then if you want to do a new game, just tap new, and it'll
Enter the number of players, then double click.
So let's enter 10.
Enter the number of players, then double
Oh,
click.
that's too many. So we'll try 6.
Write player name, then double click.
Okay, so that's basically it. Thank you.